Welcome back, my magical star beings. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people that are jealous of you really think of you. So this was a requested one. Thank you to the person that requested this. So in question one, we're going to take a look at who this person is, like who the people are that are jealous of you. Then in question two, we're going to take a look at what they're really thinking. Then in question three, we're going to take a look at what they see in you that they're jealous of. So in terms of your pal selection, you can either pick the pal you're most drawn to or pick the pal based off your zodiac sign, which is in the thumbnail. So for pile 1, we have rose quartz with the moon. For pile 2, we have tiger's eye with the 4 of wands. And for pile 3, we have goldstone with the 9 of wands. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. So hopefully by now you've picked your pile. The sponsored segment of the video is going to start now in a bit. So if you want to support the channel and watch that part, I would appreciate it. If you want to get straight into the reading, the timestamps are in the description box below, so then I'll see you there. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with a psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals, but that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. Pal 1, you chose the rose quartz crystal and the moon card. We're going to take a look at what people that are jealous of you really think of you. So let's get straight into your reading. So spirit guides of my pile 1s, please tap me into the energies of those that are jealous of pile number 1. So we're firstly going to take a look at who they are briefly. So who are the people that are jealous of pile number 1? Can we please tap into their energy and see who we're picking up on? Can we please see who we're picking up on that is jealous of pile 1? So we have the devil showing up reverse. So far, the moon and the devil, the moon represents something that's hidden. 5 of Pentacles reverse. And the devil is about like, almost this feeling of like pretending they're not jealous of you and they are. So with the moon and the devil reverse, it's kind of like people that are hiding their jealousy, hidden enemies. I just saw the angel number 111, so confirmation, then 5 of Pentacles reverse and 2 of Swords. So the moon is Cancer energy, the devil Capricorn for just additional information, zodiacs for extra confirmation. So who they are, I see very emotional people. I see people that almost like fan over you, that love to hate on you, love to hate watch you, love to talk about you. It's like they're a fan and they're a hater at the same time. They're enamored by you in some way, but they're also hating on you at the same time. And there's a lot of insecurities and self-worth wounds that are showing up for the people that are jealous of you. They may sort of like the way you're dressed, your fashion style. In terms of who they are, I see that they kind of feel as though there's nothing to really show for like their own achievements. There's nothing to really show off in terms of achievements or to show off in terms of what they have. So I'm getting like this feeling of feeling kind of embarrassed when, you know, people ask them about what they're doing at the moment, what they've achieved. It kind of just feels like they have nothing to show for themselves and a lot of insecurities around not achieving much for themselves or having much. These are people that are perhaps also opportunistic. They hang around certain people to be seen a certain way, like a social climber, if I can say it like that. Like they'll hang out with somebody just because maybe they're well liked by others and they think it will do well for their reputation or their image. These are people that care a lot about their image, care a lot about like networking with people that are maybe able to offer them something of some kind. I also see that they could be going through changes in their life at the moment, like huge changes, and they've made certain decisions in their life that they perceived would benefit them in the moment, but they're not really seeing anything show from that. Like, imagine they made a decision to work at a specific company because they perceived it as, oh, you know, I would really grow here, but they're not seeing that growth or that result like they thought they would. That's an example of the energy. Or let's say they decided to date someone specific because maybe they thought, oh, that person has money, or, you know, this person has a good image, lots of people like them, it will do well for me. But they haven't really seen that pay off in some sense, so I'm seeing that kind of energy with them. If someone here went to a Halloween party, they were at the same Halloween party, because for some reason I'm seeing them look at your like Halloween outfit from this weekend, if you're watching during November, of course, from this weekend, and they're kind of like judging your outfit, but secretly they like it. Even if it's not Halloween, they could have been at like a party you went through to or something. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Strength card. Let's get one more card with the Nine of Pentacles. So there could also be a lot of earth sign energy coming up here with all these pentacle cards. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and also Leo with the Strength card. I'm also seeing the angel number 444, so you are very spiritually protected when it comes to evil eye or, you know, jealous, negative energies people may send your way. It doesn't affect you at all. So I'd say the people that are jealous of you are very carefree in a way, fun to be around, quite extroverted in a way. Yes, they're fun to be around, and you may have had like interactions here and there with them. I don't think you're that close to the people that are jealous of you, but it's almost like you've interacted with them here and there, either through mutual friends or through people you know, or they just kind of like are in the same area as you, but I don't feel like you're that close to them. I don't think you even realize that they're jealous of you because they hide it very well. It's kind of like they talk about you behind closed doors only. And you might even like not even take that much like importance in their existence. Not that you hate them or anything like that, but you're just not that close to them where you would think they even think of you or talk about you. They're kind of irrelevant to you, is what I'm getting here energetically. Like you may have thought, oh, they're nice, they're fun, but they're kind of irrelevant to you. You don't really think about them or talk to them that much. Maybe sometimes. For some of you, though, I am getting like one specific family member, an older woman. Maybe an aunt or something like that. I'm even getting like mother-in-law for someone. That's not for everybody. I also feel like for some of you, I'm picking up on somebody that has a very like big buff build if they're a man, or they could be like very tall. Even if they're a woman, they could be like on the taller side. If they're not like physically presenting that way, then perhaps they just present themselves in a personality that's almost like tough on the exterior, where they almost try to act tougher than they actually are. Very opportunistic with the Ace of Pentacles. They always think about what they can get from other people, but they don't really think about giving back to others. They are independent. They are kind of focused on their own goals at the moment, but they're not really seeing anything pay off at the moment. They portray themselves as very confident, but on the inside, they're very insecure. So we have the Muse of Emotions, which is the King of Cups. Even though they're very emotional, they're not like erratic or all over the place emotionally. They're kind of like seeming calm at first glance. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands reversed. So they might have kind of like spent a lot of energy talking about you, hating on you, but loving you at the same time, kind of like a fan. The Knight of Pentacles is showing up as a consistent energy here, where perhaps they're always stalking your social media. They're always talking about you. It's maybe been like a few years now or a few months. It's a consistent pattern that shows up for them. And the Ten of Wands reverse shows them putting a lot of energy out your way. So spiritually, you can take advantage of this. I'm not saying you have to, but you can, since they are already like sending a lot of energy your way by speaking about you, talking about you. You can say kind of like a mantra, like every time somebody talks about me, whether negative, positive, I get prettier, or I get more abundant, or whatever, like, or more positive energy comes my way. So you can use that to your advantage since they're already willingly sending their energy. It's not like you're stealing it from them per se, but you can also just send that energy back with love, whatever you'd prefer. For some of you, I'm getting that they're jealous of your whole friend group. There are people outside the friend group, and it's kind of like beef between friendship groups is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye for some, not all. So what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is, you know the movie The Hot Chick? I don't know if any of you know it, but there was this one scene where they're kind of like in the mall, and this other friend group, I think they're like the opposite cheerleading team that they're like opposing against. They're all kind of like sneak dissing each other. So I'm seeing that scene in my mind's eye, which is why I'm saying that. So yeah, they are kind of like working hard at the moment, putting all their energy towards, you know, bettering their life, their finances, but I guess they're just not really seeing that come back to them. They may be kind of like on a similar wavelength as you, where if they weren't jealous of you, I think you guys could be great friends, because you guys do have a lot in common, but they don't realize that. It's kind of like because they're projecting so much on you, they're missing out on a great friendship that could have been because of the kind of like jealousy here present. So I'm going to remove these cards and take a look at our next question, which is what they really think of you. So what do they really think of pile number 1? What do these people that are jealous really think of pile 1? Page of Cups. They're kind of thinking with a scarcity mindset when they see you. Tower reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so it's almost like they perceive it as you're doing better than them. And that's not entirely the case or true. Like, you could be going through problems or kind of like tower moments within your own life, but they don't see what's going on behind the scenes. It's almost like they only see the highlights of your life, or they kind of project that everything in your life is going your way, that you're so lucky, that things are just happening for you, that things are just moving forward for you in a way you don't have to force or try so hard. But for them, they have to try so hard and they feel like they're getting nowhere. So it's almost like they're projecting their own scarcity mindset onto you, perceiving it as you're doing better than them. When in fact, I feel like you kind of have problems they don't even know about, and they haven't walked a mile in your shoes. They don't even know what's going on in your life, but they assume that everything's going well and everything's going your way and you're just so lucky. Which may be a good thing energetically, because they're kind of like manifesting good things come your way, even if it's out of jealousy, because of them already assuming that, like the law of assumption is what Spirit is telling me. But with the Tower reverse, maybe you're focused right now on solving these problems that you're going through, finding a way to get through it, and not focus too much on the problem or what's going wrong, but instead what's going right and how we can fix this, make it better, or soothe ourselves in the process, right? So perhaps they're kind of like jealous of that because of your attitude and mindset, because you don't let the bad moments get you down for too long. And I heard the word bitter, so they're bitter about that. They kind of think that you're receiving a lot of great opportunities at the moment, and again, that just things are going your way in the way you want it to. They also think that you're someone that is very creative, youthful in a way, playful. You have your heart wide open. And I feel like they may have said like some passive aggressive things to you, or tried to like sneak diss you, but in a like fake nice kind of way. You know, like when somebody's like calling you honey or sweetheart, but like in a passive aggressive way, or they're giving you like some kind of backhanded compliment. And maybe at first you don't register, but maybe after you do, and in that moment, you're kind of like clueless to the fact that it's like, sneak diss in a way. And it's almost like they get very bitter when you think they're being kind to you, right? So that's what I'm getting in my mind's eye. Like you just saying thank you to something they said that was backhanded, and them being dumbfounded because it's like you didn't take it as a bad thing, or you didn't take it as criticism, and it kind of just made them very bitter. There's also something about you bringing up a feeling of nostalgia in them, showing them how they used to be. It's kind of like you have this childlike joy within you, almost this nostalgic feeling of like the light is still in your eyes. Life hasn't broken you down yet. There's still like a sparkle in your eye. And there's something about that they miss subconsciously that they see in you. I think they're jealous of the light, the spark within your eyes, subconsciously. There's also something about them thinking that you're kind of grandiose in a way. You show off, you almost like grab the attention and catch the attention of others. We have the Queen of Cups. They also think that you're someone that is very sweet. They don't feel bad for being jealous of you because of how sweet you are. I think you kind of kill them with kindness a little bit without even realizing, because I don't think you realize who's actually jealous of you. The Hanged and the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, they think that you're a very sweet person. You're nice. You're kind of just like giving love to everybody around you. They think that you're a great listener, very empathic, intuitive, and honest. And they hate the fact that so many people think you're so likable. They like to try to talk shit about you to people, and then people will be like, oh, but pile one's so nice. Like, how can you not like them? I don't understand. Like, pile one's never done anything. They're such a sweetheart. They hate the fact that they can't gossip about you to just anybody because most people like you. And most people will kind of just deflect the hate that they're sending you and be like, why are you hating on them? They're so nice. Like, I don't get it. So they think that you're doing this for attention, that you're kind of just being fake nice, to seem nicer than you actually are. They think it's a facade. But I think they would project that because they would be like that. Like I said, they're very opportunistic, kind of like social climbers. Because they are like that, they're projecting it onto you when, you know, it may be genuine coming from your side, but they could be the types of people that are only kind with ulterior motive. So when they see real, true kindness, they question it. They've also had their eye on you for a long time, kind of obsessing over you, studying you. And it almost seems like they see that you're not a pushover. Although you're very kind, you're a sweetheart, you're not a pushover. With the Queen of Swords at the back of the deck, you can stand up for yourself. If somebody's going to like say something really rude to you, you're going to set a boundary for yourself. You're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to talk back. So you're not just like someone they can walk all over. Which they kind of expected because you're so kind and sweet that you would be a pushover, that they would be able to just like do anything to you and you're not going to push back or fight back in any way. It kind of feels like you've caught them off guard, honestly. They almost have an obsession over you that they can't get out of their head. They try to get you out of their head. They try to like not talk about you as much to not seem as obsessed, but they just can't help but keep thinking about you and keep talking about you. I see them talking to somebody about you that isn't really close to you but likes you, and they're trying to almost like gossip to this person, and the person's like, what did pile one ever do to you? Like, I don't understand where this all this animosity is coming from towards pile one, because I always hear you speaking about them this way, but what have they ever done to you? Like, someone almost like called them out for their BS. And remember, we could be channeling multiple people that are showing up in the same energy that are maybe not connected or are connected, but just keep that in mind as we read here. They think that you're stable, emotionally stable, financially stable. They also think that you're very wise and understanding too, maybe even very tolerable, forgivable in some way. Like, you don't hold grudges or take things to heart, or take people's behaviors personally. They also think that you're someone that is almost like very mature, grounded, reliable, even deep, which they kind of hate because people have called them shallow. Okay, the Hierophant reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Four of Cups reverse with the Death card. I heard that they are making nasty remarks and rumors about you, and it is going to backfire on them in some way, shape, or form. I'm seeing that one of your haters could be an orphan. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but like, I'm seeing that they don't have both parents. Either both parents have passed away or something happened. Maybe they were adopted or something. I'm getting that kind of energy for someone here. Of course, it won't resonate with everybody. So they think that you're changing and you're growing in some way. And they hate the fact that they feel stagnant while you're growing and things are changing for you in a positive way. And even when things happen where it's like not so positive, the change pays off for you. Like, let's say you go through a breakup, and of course that breakup doesn't seem positive, but later maybe you go through your post-breakup glow up, you know, and it just works out for you. And a few months later after you heal, you're like, oh, I'm so glad I let go of that person because they were just holding me back. So it seems like even the bad things that happened to you almost like serve you well, and that's what they're very bitter about, because they're just stagnant and nothing is really happening for them. And I'm being reminded of that quote, something along the lines of, someone like probably not getting what they want because they don't know how to clap for others. So maybe that is the case for them because they don't know how to clap for others. It's kind of like they're blocking their own blessings. Because sometimes the universe shows us, or God shows us, examples of other people getting the manifestations we would like to kind of prove to us that, or to show us a sign that ours is close. And you may be that sign of their manifestation being close, but because they can't be happy for you, it's almost like they're blocking their own blessings. They think that you're someone that people will never get bored of. People always find something interesting to say about you. And it makes them like want to grind their teeth. I see someone like their eye twitching when somebody else talks about you positively. Like, oh, did you hear about so and so and what happened to them? There's some kind of energy there about like your life seeming more interesting than theirs. I see them kind of rolling their eyes at you and thinking you're pretentious is the word I heard in my mind, but it kind of just feels like they're looking at you. For example, like turn the other cheek and be the bigger person in some kind of situation where there's drama. And then they're like, oh, that's just a facade. It kind of just feels like they're taking your good qualities and twisting it into something negative and projecting something negative onto it to almost make themselves feel better because they don't portray those good qualities themselves. Does that make sense? So that is what I see here. Let's go to the next question now. What do they see in my pile ones that they're jealous of? What do they see in my pile ones that they're jealous of? So the Six of Swords is the changes happening in your life right now. And that's confirmation because I mentioned them feeling stagnant and feeling like they're working so hard and they've been working consistently, but they're not really seeing change happen in their life, but they are for you. Even bad changes that seem bad at first turn out to be a blessing in disguise for you. The Empress reverse is their insecurities. So maybe they're jealous of the fact that you seem to have some kind of self-love with the Empress and that you seem to be like working on yourself and working on loving you for you and accepting you for you. I see that some that are jealous of you are jealous of the fact that they try to copy or emulate you, but they can't pull off you the way that you pull yourself off. So let's say you're wearing a specific outfit and they see you post it on social media, and now they try to get something similar for themselves, but maybe it just doesn't suit them, you know? And it kind of just feels like they're throwing some kind of adult tantrum because of the fact that outfit just doesn't suit them, just doesn't, they don't pull it off like you do. And even when they try to copy you, it's like, it just doesn't look good on them. So there's something about that, like maybe it just doesn't look good for their body type, like their skin tone, maybe like, for example, you know how like certain colors can wash out a certain person but make another person glow. Like I know for me, when I wear like dark colors, they kind of wash me out, and when I like wear super bright colors, they also kind of like overpower me. But if I wear like spring summer colors, they kind of like suit me. So I'm talking about like those kind of things where it's like a certain color will look good on you and then they'll try it on themselves and it will wash them out. Like let's say you dye your hair blonde and it looks good on you, but they try do it and it just washes them out. I'm seeing that kind of energy there. Or you can wear a certain outfit and pull it off, but it just doesn't look good on them. It just doesn't look the same on them. So that's what I'm picking up on here. I'm also seeing like something about your body is what they're jealous of. Like the way your body looks, the silhouette of your body. It kind of feels like they wish they had your body type. And they could be beautiful in their own way, but it kind of feels like they don't have the same body type as you, but they're wishing to have your body type, right? So I'm seeing that. And the thing is, they could have their own beauty, like within their own body type, but it almost just feels like they want what you have. Does that make sense? What they also see in you that they're jealous of is your charisma, how you're easily able to almost charm others and make other people like you without even trying. When they try to almost be likable, they get the opposite response from people. I think people can sometimes sense their ulterior motives where They could be super friendly and kind, acting that way, acting kind of helpful, but I think people kind of sense sometimes they have ulterior motives, like wanting to use them for what they have or whatever. And I think people just don't trust them as much. And they sometimes feel like people just find them annoying and don't want to talk to them. But then people always want to talk to you. So it brings up like a deep-rooted bitterness and jealousy in them when they just see people liking you and it's effortless for you, but they have to try so hard to get people to like them, and it always just feels like nobody wants to even spend time around them. But I also pick up it could also be their own negativity that's driving people away, like slowly but surely. Like sometimes people don't want to be around that negativity, and it's understandable, but they don't get that. Remember how I said they're jealous of that light, that spark within your eye? Like you haven't been defeated by life. You haven't grown bitter. You haven't like lost your spark. And even if you have, you are, like slowly gaining it back. That's what they're subconsciously jealous of. They may think it's like the outfits you're wearing, the glow you physically have, the way other people just like you, but I think subconsciously it's that. I don't think they're like thinking that consciously. So Temperance, the star reverse, yeah, that's what I was speaking about. They're drawn to your light, but they hate it at the same time. So the Nine of Swords. So what they see in you that they're jealous of is the fact that you don't even try to get attention on yourself, but you somehow attract it with the star reverse. And in fact, you don't even like try to show off or anything like that, but they kind of like project that narrative onto you that you're showing off, even though you're not. I think that sometimes you are like, some of you are socially anxious where you don't like attention on you, but you always attract it somehow. Some of you like don't like being the center of attention where it feels uncomfortable, but you somehow are. And they have to try so hard, but like people just kind of find them annoying because of their own antics, because of the way they act. That I'm hearing that sound from TikTok that's like, you see why people don't want to be around you? This is how you act. So it's almost like they drive people away by how they act. And they don't understand that. They don't get why people don't want to be around them. What they also see in you that they're jealous of is that when you're really nervous to do something that's important to you, like when you're getting outside of your comfort zone, you're nervous, but you're trying anyway. Like, let's say you apply for a job and you're like nervous that you don't get it, or you're nervous for the interview, but you go anyway and you go outside your comfort zone, and you're like so nervous that they're happy inside, but then later somehow it works out for you. You get the job, even though you were really nervous, or, whatever it is. I'm just using that as an example. And then they always like feel bitter because even when you're nervous, even when you almost don't feel ready for it, you're ready. Whereas they're nervous for something and then they flop. Or they try to like wing it and they flop because they're not like well prepared for whatever it is that they're doing. But you don't flop. You somehow like make it even though you're nervous. Even if it's like talking to other people. Let's say they're really nervous, but then somehow they say something awkward and ruin the conversation, but you don't. There's almost like this feeling of, how are you nervous, but you do better than me at like conversations, job interviews, whatever it is. You're getting a better result than me, even though you're nervous, but I'm also nervous. And I'm not getting the same result, like I don't get it. There's almost something about them questioning that. What they also see in you that they're jealous of is the fact that sometimes you wait a long time for something to come to fruition, and they think you're going to give up. They think you're going to lose hope. But then you don't lose hope. Maybe you are anxious that you don't get this thing you're waiting for, this thing you're putting a lot of time and effort into. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, things change for you for the better, where that wait paid off. Like, let's say you were waiting to get a job promotion and you worked hard for it for years and you never gave up. And it took time with Temperance, but eventually things changed and you never lost hope. And then it kind of just feels like a slap in their face because They feel like they're not giving up, but they don't see the same results. And they almost wish you would give up, but that you don't. So the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups reverse, and the Knight of Wands. It almost just seems like you're totally okay with yourself, your life, what's going on in your life. You're happy with where you are. Even if you don't have something specific, like maybe some of you are single, but you're enjoying your single years. And maybe you want love, but you're not like so desperate for it to the point where you're just dating anybody to just have love, settling, you know. Maybe you're enjoying your single years, you're going out. And maybe they're that type of person that would settle just because they want it now. And then they're almost like bitter because of the fact that you're happy without that thing. Or let's say you're working towards a job promotion and maybe things don't go your way and you don't get it, but you're happy anyways. That's what they're jealous of. Or let's say they see it as like, you don't have the type of life I would necessarily want in all circumstances, but you're happy with it, and I'm not like happy with my own life when I don't have the things I want. So it's almost like when things don't go your way and you are just like happy with where you are, you're fulfilled, you're not like ungrateful in a way. Like even if you're a little bit disappointed that you don't have that thing, you're still able to enjoy your life. Whereas they almost feel like empty without that thing. They almost feel like they need it. They have to have it. And if they don't have it, they're unfulfilled. But you make the most of what you have even when things don't go your way. And that's what they're secretly jealous of. They also see that you're a go-getter, you're ambitious, you celebrate where you're at even when things don't go your way. And when things do, you celebrate it, you're truly grateful for it. You also are someone with like realistic expectations. You don't like put unrealistic pressure on yourself. And you kind of like take your goals little by little. Like you do it little by little. You don't like put unnecessary amounts of pressure on yourself. Maybe you dream big, but you kind of like take your goals in practical steps where it's like comfortable for you in some way while still getting outside of your comfort zone somewhat. And there's just something about you celebrating where you're at the moment, working hard towards your goals. That's what they're jealous of, like your dedication, your consistency, your motivation, how you just keep going and don't give up. That's what they see in you that they're jealous of. And again, with the devil at the back of the deck reverse, it's like this is what they feel inside, but they would never admit it out loud. I'm just going to close my eyes now and see if I get any more signs to end off, and then we'll end off your reading there. So I am seeing the initial J. I'm seeing the Aries symbol. I'm seeing the initial Y. I'm seeing like a very girly girl. I'm seeing someone that was bitter for not being invited somewhere like your wedding or a party or something that you threw, even though you're not even that close to them. There's like an entitled feeling there. Like you're not even that close to them, but they expect an invite from you. I'm seeing the number 3, which reminds me of the 3rd house, Gemini energy, communication, them wanting to communicate with you or talk about you. But 3 could also be significant. Like let's say they're 23, 33, or they're born on the 3rd or in the 3rd month. I'm seeing Leo energy again, Taurus, the initial S, the initial V and E. I'm seeing long eyelashes, earth sign energy again. I'm seeing someone that likes to bake as well. So that is all I'm channeling for you. So I really hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this resonated down in the comments below. If you like my readings, please join my membership for more exclusive content of mine. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the Tiger's Eye crystal and the 4 of Wands card. We're going to take a look at what people that are jealous of you really think of you. So let's get straight into your reading. So firstly, we're going to take a look at who they are briefly. So spirit guides of pile number 2, please tap me into the energy of the people that are jealous of pile 2. Please show me, who are we picking up on that's jealous of pile 2? Who are we picking up on that's jealous of pile number 2? So in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a feminine energy. I'm seeing her with like very dark hair, like brunette hair or black hair, but mostly like dark brown hair. I'm seeing that she's very like attractive, very like sexy in like society standards of beauty. She makes a lot of thirst traps is what I'm seeing in my mind. I'm seeing like one particular person stand out to me, but there could be more people showing up here too. But there's that one particular lady's energy that's like showing up quite strongly for me, like almost taking over the reading. But we could also have other people showing up, like I said. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Fool reverse, and the Three of Swords reverse. Now, this particular lady is used to being the center of attention. She's used to people kind of praising her, kissing her ass in some way. Because of her looks, she does get a lot of pretty privilege, and she is very beautiful, if I must say. But she kind of feels threatened by you in some way, and she knows you haven't even reached your peak yet, and she feels very threatened by your potential and where you could be, because it almost just feels like you will look at her and be like, what are you jealous of me? Like, I don't understand, like, I haven't like reached my peak yet. Like, there's that kind of feeling here, but it's almost like she's jealous of your potential because she knows that you could possibly be more powerful than her, or almost like, I don't want to say like replace her in a way, but she kind of feels threatened by your potentials, what I'm seeing. And I don't think you could even really replace her. I'm not sure what she's talking about in that sense, because I don't understand what you would replace her at. But it almost just feels like, again, she's threatened by your potential of where you could be. She's almost afraid that you would grow in a way where you would be better than her. So I am picking up on people that are very serious, that aren't very lighthearted, aren't like the type of people you can really joke with. You know, those types of people that are so serious that you can't even make a joke with them. Like, they won't even laugh at the joke. Even if it's like a good joke, they won't laugh. They'll just stare at you with a straight face and it will be awkward. I'm picking up on the type of people that are also very intelligent, well-spoken, smart, like to travel a lot, like to go on holidays. I'm picking up on people that seem polite and friendly at first, but there's kind of like a hidden animosity underneath that politeness and kind of like charm. I feel like there's someone that's jealous of you that is very polite in your face, and they almost like smile in a very big way, but something about the smile doesn't seem genuine. I don't know if some of you like had a person that's like polite to you and they smile at you, but something is like creepy or off about their smile. Maybe not creepy is the right word to use, but it just doesn't feel genuine. It feels forced. You know what I mean? These are people that put a lot of value into their look, into the way they're kind of like perceived by others. These are people that kind of like want to look beautiful to others, want to look handsome to others, like care a lot about how they look. I'm seeing someone with like higher cheekbones or nicer cheekbones or full cheekbones. I'm also picking up on a very judgmental energy. The kind that almost like judges people for their life decisions, what they're wearing, like who they're friends with, how they're showing up. It's almost like they don't agree with people that are living life differently from them. They're the kind of people that are judgmental in the sense where if another person's not living life the same way as them, they get very offended by that. But like, how does it even affect them? Like, if another person lives their life differently, that's their life, you know, like how does it affect them? That's what I don't get, like with people like that. But that is the kind of energy I'm picking up on. Like, They think their way of living life is the only right way. I could also be picking up on very religious people, people that have gone through pain in their life, but almost like pretend everything's going well and everything's going okay, even when things aren't going well. The kind of people where you ask them, like, how their love life is going, and they put on like this big fake smile and they're like, yeah, things are going great, but behind the surface, maybe they're having like screaming fights with their partner all the time. Or let's say you ask them, like, how's the family doing? And they're like, great, everything's awesome, but maybe their kids aren't speaking to them or whatever. Like, I'm just picking up on that kind of energy of fakeness, in the sense of they won't ever show any kind of weakness. They won't ever show anything bad they're going through. They almost just like want their life to seem perfect to the outside view, when it's not even like that, really. These are people that can't be impulsive, that just do without thinking at times, and although they're smart and intelligent, their impulsiveness is their weakness. So next we have the Knight of Cups, Seven of Swords reverse, and the Star. So these are people that almost, Star reverse, these are people that almost like don't want you to shine, don't want you to reach your potential, your peak. They don't want to see you doing better than them in some way. There's secret competition here. There's almost an energy of like, I like when you're doing well, but not better than me, because then I feel threatened by you. And there's almost an energy of secret competition, in the sense of they almost like don't want good things to happen to you in your life. I see you having a conversation with someone that's jealous of you, for example. You are telling them something maybe negative that happened to you in maybe like the past 2 weeks. And inside they're smiling, but on the outside they seem very kind and compassionate and are almost like saying sorry to you for what you went through, for example. And on the inside they're smiling, and maybe it shows through like a little subtle micro expression where for 1 second there's like a lift of the mouth where it almost looks like they're gonna smile, but then they catch themselves. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up on. People that almost like want to see you fail, that don't want you to be doing well, that like thrive in your misery. And when you are giving good news to them, it's almost like they get quiet. They don't like really applaud you. They don't really like support you in any way. For some of you, you could have fake friends around you with the Four of Wands, people you're close to. But I don't think everybody that's jealous of you, you're close to them. But maybe you have like 1 or 2 people that are kind of like envious of you, but are hiding it secretly and you don't even realize it. And you also have a lot of people from your past that you've walked away from that are jealous of you, or people you knew in the past that you're no longer close to, like people you went to high school with or college with or whatever it is, ex-friends. So yeah, Knight of Cups, Seven of Swords is like this energy of acting kind to you, but there's like hidden tension underneath, like behind the scenes. And sometimes the way they glare at you or look at you, like certain micro expressions will show through how they really feel. Like let's say they make a certain facial expression of disgust or of like glaring at you in some way, but then like trying to hide it as soon as they do. I pick up on like subtle micro expressions. So Two of Wands reverse, the Page of Wands. I pick up on somebody that is family oriented, very clean, hygienic. Everything has to almost look perfect in their home, spotless in their home. Can be stingy at times, can be a little bit, I don't want to say frugal, because they do spend their money on things, but they're kind of like wanting to get the best deals. Like let's say they're going shopping for, clothes or something. They're gonna try like get the best looking things for cheaper. So they're not like really frugal, but there's that kind of energy there. Like let's say they're decorating their home in some way, buying furniture. They want it to look nice, but they don't want to spend that much money on it. Does that make sense? They take life very seriously, almost too seriously, where some things could be like taken in a light way, but they kind of just make everything very serious. And no hate against anybody that's serious, because even I can be serious at times, but this is almost like too much to the point where it's like they can't even have fun. Like everything's serious. Like, for example, I'm seeing someone like play a competitive game. Let's say they're playing sports and they take it so seriously, and it's just like a fun match. It's not even something that's like counting for anything, but then they lose and they take it so seriously and they can't even like have fun in the process and see the joy in the process, you know? There's almost like that kind of energy there. They may be very perfectionistic, hating when things are imperfect, and very hard and critical on themselves, but also others. They seem to be in the process of decluttering, letting things go from their life, letting people go. They're kind of in that phase of their life right now. They do appear calm on the surface, but inside they're very stressed out from their life. And there's something about them noticing that you're someone that's like a very colorful person. You kind of like go to the beat of your own drum. You do things in your own way. You don't follow like the rules to the T. It's kind of like you do things in your own way. You have creativity. You're kind of lighthearted. So that's how they're seeing you right now. And these are people that kind of are indecisive but have to have a plan for everything. So in terms of zodiacs I see here, we do have strong Aquarius energy. There's also strong fire sign energy here, Aries, Leo, Sag. Maybe some water sign energy too. Let me see what I can channel in terms of zodiacs. So I'm seeing Capricorn in my mind's eye. I'm seeing Pisces in my mind's eye. Cancer. Libra is what I just heard. I also heard that they have like dominant placements, like for example, like maybe having a stellium or like a lot of earth placements, water placements, whatever placement. It's almost like dominating in their chart. I'm seeing Gemini energy as well. And I keep seeing Capricorn and Aries. For initials, I'm getting T and J. Oh, did I mention Aquarius? I was also seeing Aquarius. I'm seeing someone like drive a very nice car. They may like R&B for someone here. Or like kind of like slower kind of music. I pick up on people that are very secretive as well. I'm getting the initial C, V, H. I'm seeing somebody with straight hair and big eyes. I'm also seeing the initial L and H. So let's take a look at the next question now. So what do they really think of pile number 2? What are the people that are jealous of pile 2 really think of them? What do they really think of pile 2? So I just heard business-minded, classy. Knight of Cups reverse. They also think you're talkative and very animated in your facial expressions. The Chariot. They think you're polite to them, but they almost try to like keep their jealousy under the surface. I don't get that they want to create drama with you. It's different from pile 1's and energy in the sense of I don't want to create drama with you. I don't want to gossip about you, but inside I feel this way. I'm not like looking to sabotage anything for you, but inside maybe they don't want you to be doing better than them or don't want you to be doing well or kind of like wishing on your misery in some way, but I don't think they want to act on it in any way of like sabotage, gossip, anything like that. They kind of like keep it very hidden very well. Whereas like pile 1's energy was like them keeping it hidden, but not keeping the secret very well, if that makes sense. Whereas these people will never talk about you, will never reveal their jealousy for you. So the Chariot and the Eight of Cups. So they really think that you're someone with a whole lot of hidden power beneath the surface. There's more to you than meets the eye. I feel like you have a lot of people that are jealous of you, that maybe once undervalued you, that almost underestimated you, and it's almost like you proved them wrong in some way. It's like they kind of put you in a certain box where you seemed non-threatening to them, but all of a sudden you exceeded their expectations and they realized they underestimated you. These are people that may be doing better than you, that have more than you, where you would question and wonder, why are they jealous of me because they have so much more than me? This would be an example of someone that's more successful than you. Let's say this is a coworker and they're more powerful than you in terms of like hierarchy, like career hierarchy, like maybe they get a higher salary than you, or they have more power than you, but they're still jealous of your potential. Or let's say this is someone that you perceive as very attractive, where you'd be like, why would they be jealous of me? Like, yes, I'm pretty, yes, I'm handsome, but like they're so attractive, I don't get it. Or maybe they have a lot of money, but they're jealous of you, and you're like, I don't have that much money, like, I don't get it. But there's something about them almost like being jealous of the power that you have, the untamed and untapped potential that you have that you could step into. These could be people that are older than you as well, or they've had more life experience than you, or they've had some kind of head start where maybe they're more privileged in some way, but they're jealous of you, not necessarily what you have. So I do see that these could be people at work as well. So it seems like they think you don't necessarily have what they have to the extent they have it at, like whether it's money, whatever it is. It's not like you're in the same position as them. They have more than you, they know that. I'm getting that they kind of feel jealous of the fact that you don't have it, but you're somehow happier than them. So this is the kind of energy of somebody that is maybe like rich but unhappy. And I'm not saying all people that are rich are unhappy, because there are a lot of people that are rich that are probably happy, but I'm talking about like people that almost put their fulfillment in external things, hoping it will bring them happiness, but it doesn't. They just feel empty inside. Say somebody comes from like a rich family and they didn't have a very good family life, but you do. Maybe their parents don't pay a lot of attention to them. They don't feel that close to their family, but you do. They're jealous of that. Or let's say you're really happy, but they're not. They're jealous of that. It's like unsuperficial things they're jealous of. Like things that are really important that they may have overlooked, that they may have deemed unimportant once, but now it seems important to them. It could be, like how I said before, a coworker that is like above you in some way, but not like above you. Obviously, you're equal in some way, but I mean, like, maybe they're making more money than you, but they're kind of jealous of the fact that you don't have so much pressure on you to constantly succeed. You can just go to work and take it day by day and not have as much pressure on yourself. Whereas maybe this person has so much pressure to perform and to almost like be better and outdo everybody. Or let's say someone here is very attractive, and they're kind of looking at you. Let's say you don't like necessarily have to do anything to really like attract the right person, but maybe they almost like get people because of their looks, but it's not like people of substance. There's almost like this feeling of, I'm jealous of what you have, but it's not like a superficial thing. It's something that's almost intangible, like happiness or fulfillment or quality people you have around you or whatever it is. It feels like something like that. I'm even getting this energy of like, you don't have as much responsibility as me. You don't have as much bills to pay as me. Something along those lines is coming through here in the energy. So we have the Four of Pentacles showing up reverse. We have the Five of Wands. And we have the Seven of Cups reverse. So they think that you're in this phase right now of letting go as well. And they kind of see that you both have that in common at the moment, where you're both letting go of things, people, places, whatever just doesn't serve you, beliefs. I think you are also very easily able to give up on a dream or a wish that just isn't working out for you, because you haven't had like put so much time in it or invested so much money into it or whatever, that it's like if you were to just give up, you could find something new. Whether it was like giving up on a relationship because maybe you're like, okay, you know, I still have my whole life ahead of me to find somebody new. Or whether it's like, you know, maybe you start a business, you're like, okay, this isn't really working for me. This doesn't really feel like me. Or maybe you study something and you drop out, or decide to study something else because you're like, this isn't really working for me, but, you know, I can try something new. It doesn't really matter. But they almost feel like the world would end if they had to break up, if they had to pull out of like something they're working towards. Maybe they invested a lot of money into it. It just feels like they have a lot of outside pressure on them. It feels like they think other people would judge them and they have a lot of pressure on them, but you don't. And it kind of just feels easy for you to kind of like let go, start something new. But for them, it's kind of like the end of the world. They think that you're kind of please don't take this the wrong way, because it's what I heard. I'm not insulting you, it's just what I heard. Some of them think that you're kind of like basic in a way, in the way you dress, but that you still attract a lot of attention and admiration from others, and they don't understand why. It almost just feels like the people that compete with you look for flaws in you, look for reasons to almost hate on you, look for negative things about you to almost make themselves feel better. But it's coming from a place of jealousy. Like, you know, like when you see somebody that's hating on another person, and maybe they're hating on something about them, like they're trying to like find flaws in that person because inside they feel threatened by that person, where they're almost like trying to make it seem like they're not threatened or they're not jealous and there's nothing to be jealous of, but they're trying to find those flaws because they're jealous. Does that make sense? So I see that here with the Five of Wands. I see that there is thoughts of self-comparison here. And they tend to almost compete with you in a way, try to like outdo you or outshine you or be better than you in some way. I even see this energy of like trying to one up you in some way in conversation. So you could be like, oh, I traveled to this place, you know, for the holidays and it was so amazing. And they're like, oh, I went to this place. And it's almost like they try to outdo you in a way, not in a sense of trying to relate to you and like telling you a similar story, but in the sense of what you're saying is unimportant. Like this that I did was so much better. There's that kind of like energy or vibe to it. I'm not saying what you're doing is like unimportant, but what I am saying is there's that kind of tone to it where it's like they're trying to make what they did better than yours, better than how you're doing it. I also see them almost like negging you a little bit, trying to get you to like not see your own self-worth. I see that they can be like polite to you, but almost like pushing certain buttons or trying to like see how many insecurities they can push of yours. It's almost like they want to test your boundaries or see how insecure you are. Like, let's say you wear a specific lip color lipstick color, and you're really confident in it, and they're like, oh, are you sure you want to wear that? And then they almost make it seem like it's coming from a caring place of like, I'm trying to make you look good. But it's coming from this place of almost trying to bring out insecurities in you. And then they thrive when they see you kind of like second guessing yourself after they said what they said. So if you have noticed anybody do that to you lately, that is a huge red flag that they're part of this group of people. So they think that you're someone with dreams, with goals, but you don't have like so much unnecessary pressure on yourself. You have some kind of power, some kind of potential that they're trying to compete with. They're almost like wanting to do better than you and not have you do better than them. They think that you're kind of detached at the moment. You're not like really putting so much pressure on the things you want. You have like multiple options. Like, let's say you're like, okay, I want to study at this university, but if I don't get chosen, I can go here. You know, it's kind of like you're not putting so much pressure or expectations on what you want, where you have multiple options of what you could do. But they feel like the opposite. They feel like if they don't have the thing they want, it's the end of the world and everybody's going to judge them and everybody's going to know and everybody's going to talk, and they place so much importance in it when, yeah, maybe some people could talk here and there, but I doubt it's like as extreme as they think in their mind. So we have the Eight of Pentacles. They almost like think the world revolves around them, that everybody's watching them, that everybody's talking about them, when that could be the case, but maybe not as extreme as they think. So Eight of Pentacles reverse, Nine of Swords, Muse of Voices, which is King of Swords, and the Empress reverse. So they think that you're really intelligent, and that threatens their ego because they've always been known to be the most intelligent in the room, and their intelligence has kind of been like their superpower all along. Almost like this feeling of like, I'm the most intelligent in the room. But then when you come around, it's like maybe you're on the same level as intelligence as them in some way, and they feel threatened by it in some way where it's like, now I'm not the most intelligent in the room anymore. There's somebody else that's like on the same level as me. There's that kind of feeling there in their thoughts. Of course, everybody's equal, but there's that kind of like thought process there. There's almost like a fear of like, what if other people think you're smarter than me? Because I've always been the most smart one. Now, what if other people like turn to you for advice or almost like trust you more with your information than me? I see them thinking you have a pretty smile, that you have a good heart and a good personality, that you may be anxious at times or have like worries or fears, but they almost think that your worries or fears aren't as big as theirs. Like, they think that you don't have like a lot to lose, but it's freeing in a way because, again, like you can start something new easily, but they have a lot to lose if they fail. They think that you're almost like doing this purposely, like you're almost trying to get other people to think you're smarter than them. It almost feels like these people kind of think everybody has it out for them in a way, like everybody's out to get them. They're very paranoid, like to the point where like it's like, calm down, nobody's out to get you, nobody's like trying to be better than you, nobody's trying to like seem smarter than you. But then they think that you're plotting, they think that you're almost like trying to control people in a way to get them to not trust their opinions and to trust yours. So they're very like paranoid about that. I don't know why, but I'm seeing that. And I keep seeing the workplace. I keep seeing like a coworker energy at this area of the reading. Before, I wasn't seeing that so much, but at this area of the reading, I feel like I'm picking up on that a lot. They also think that you have talents and you're really good at what you do. Like you have certain skills where you have a lot of potential, but that you, like when you continue working on that, those talents will almost like be unmatched in a way. But there's some kind of sense of self-comparison where it's like they feel like they're maybe not as talented, but they've maybe like practiced at that skill or talent for a long time, where they seem talented, but they didn't start out with the talent that you have starting out. So that's what they're also threatened about, like, especially if you work in the same field or you have the same skill, but it's kind of like you have a lot more talent starting than they did starting. But they kind of like worked on that over time to make it seem like they have that talent even though they don't. Does that make sense? So that's what they're threatened by, and they almost feel like you're pulling the rug out under them, trying to like make yourself seem better than them in some way, which is not really the case. I think it's just their insecurities speaking in some way. They think that you're very similar, but again, like there's a competition kind of feeling here, but I feel like if they work together with you, you guys could get so far together, but because they're seeing you as competition, they're holding themselves back. Like, let's say they worked with you and used your talent and their like skill over the years that they've built. You guys would kind of be in an unstoppable duo, but because they're threatened by you, they're holding themselves back, is what I see. Like, I see something where you could potentially collaborate at something and do really well as a team together, but they don't see it that way. These haters also have a superiority complex where they think they're better than everybody. They look down on everybody. And don't take that personally, but they also look down on you in some way. But what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is, imagine they're thinking they're not threatened by you at first, and then somebody else almost like praises you and they didn't expect it. And it almost just feels like the world is ending now. Now they're threatened by you. Now it's like they thought they were better than you in some way, but now they're thinking this other person thinks that you're better than them just because they complimented you or praised you once behind your back. You get what I mean? It almost feels like maybe at one point they didn't find you threatening. They thought they were above you. But someone took notice of you in some way, shape, or form, complimented you, praised you of some kind, and they didn't like it. It threatened them in some way. So the Star reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands with the Ten of Swords. They are so paranoid where they think you're trying to like get people to not like them. They think that you're trying to like talk to people bad about them when that's not even the case, which is so weird. Like, I don't know where they get this paranoia from when it's not even like happening. It's not even real. They're making things up in their own mind. They're secretly waiting for you to fail. I almost see them kind of like evil eyeing you a little bit. So protect your energy. They think you're working very hard, and with your talents and hard work, you could get very far. They also think that you're ambitious and that you're pretty or handsome and almost like youthful in a way. Like something about your face, you looking youthful in some way. Like you look younger than your age in some way. And there's something about them almost feeling like, I don't want to see you reach your potential because it could be greater than mine. That's the energy I keep seeing over and over again. So now I'm going to move on to the next question. I'm even seeing this energy of like them being interested in somebody, thinking that person won't take interest in you because like, yes, you're pretty, yes, you're handsome, but like I said, they have a superiority complex where it's like, oh, that person's prettier, but they're pretty, but they're not prettier than me. There's that kind of energy to their thought patterns. And maybe that's not necessarily the case. Like, maybe you are prettier. I don't know. I don't know how you actually look, but there's just something about them thinking in that type of way. But then maybe that person does take interest in you and they're dumbfounded by it. So, and maybe it's not even about looks and attraction, but maybe they like your personality more, you know? And maybe they are attracted to you and they like your personality more than that person's and they're dumbfounded by it because it's like, I thought this person would like me more. So There's some kind of competition there where it's like, at first they think you're not competition, but then they realize you are. So there's that kind of weird energy attached here. Ace of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. So what they see in pile 2 that they are jealous of. The Two of Pentacles. If this is a workplace thing, a boss or supervisor or someone in power is taking interest in perhaps mentoring you or teaching you or something, or giving you some kind of opportunity that will allow you to both learn and grow within the company. And that's what they're jealous of, because they thought they would get the opportunity. There's something about an opportunity here that they wanted for themselves that you're getting. And if it's not in career, then it could be love. Like I said, I saw a person talking to them and then talking to you and then being dumbfounded. So maybe someone is taking interest in you that they like, where it's like they're competing for that person's attention. Let's say it's not someone romantic and you're becoming friends with someone they're friends with, and maybe they almost want to compete for that friend's attention. That could be the case too. It almost just feels like the world is going backwards, because at some point, again, they viewed you as non-threatening and now you're threatening to them, and it feels like the world is upside down and like, how did this happen? And I'm so confused, like I didn't think they were a threat, but now they're a threat. There's that kind of energy here of like, is the world going upside down? Because like, I don't understand why they're getting this. They're also jealous of your stability, of the fact that you seem calm under pressure. Nothing can really like put you off balance. Especially when it comes to your talents. You make it seem so effortless. You make it seem so easy, whereas when they started, it was so difficult for them. So it almost feels like they're comparing the moment they started to the moment you're starting, and feeling like you're so much better than them, but they thought they were so much better than you. But now it's like they think you're so much better than them, comparing the point when they started to the point you're starting. Does that make sense? They're truly just scared of your potential. That's what I keep seeing over and over again. Justice. So in my mind's eye, I'm seeing it like there's two actors. And maybe one person is like just starting out and the other has been acting for like 20 years. And at first they don't even like think much of the person. They don't take much note of them. But then they see their talent and they're just starting out and they're like, wow, like how is this person so talented when they're just starting out? And maybe they have like a similar amount of talent, but it took 20 years to get there. But this person just started and they're almost like threatened by it. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. So Justice, Six of Cups reverse, and Ace of Wands. They see an attraction in you that they are jealous of. Some kind of sex appeal with the Ace of Wands, but also some kind of passion for what you do, for whatever you're talented at. It seems like you're genuinely passionate about it. It's not like you're just trying to do it for money or for this. Like, yes, you could be trying to succeed in some way, but you're not just doing it for that. Like, you know, those people that only do something because they want to make money. It's not necessarily a passion of theirs. Like, let's say they make a song. It's not like they're passionate about music, but they're just making a song to make money. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be songs. I'm just using that as an example. But it's like you are making it because you're really passionate about it. But maybe there is some like monetary gain from it, but that's not the reason you're doing it. Does that make sense? So it's almost like they're jealous of the passion you have for this talent of yours or the skill of yours that I keep seeing over and over again in the reading. The skill, the talent is what they're most jealous of. And with your sex appeal, I don't know why, but I'm seeing an example for some of you where it's like you slept with the same person. I don't want to say this because it sounds so like degrading speaking about this, but it's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. Like, I'm seeing the person you maybe like slept with or did sexual things with, for some of you, only take if it resonates, was speaking about you and how good you were in bed, and was speaking about how bad they were in bed. Like maybe that person is sexy physically, but maybe they were bad in bed or were a bad kisser or something. And it was like some kind of comparison of you. And this person either overheard it or someone told them what the person said, and they got so mad at it. I'm seeing something like that. Like maybe you kissed the same person, or you slept with the same person or something. And that person almost like said they're bad in bed or they're a bad kisser, but you're better in bed or something like that. Which is weird to see like in a vision, but it's what I'm seeing. I'm literally seeing the person say that that person's bad in bed and saying that you're good in bed or something like that. It feels like this person keeps track of your progress in some way. They notice like how you were when you started. I keep picking up on this talent. Even when I like move on to other points, Spirit keeps pointing me back to the talent. So I see them kind of like taking note of your progress and the moment you started and like how you seemed when you started. And each time they see you doing that thing, it's like you become better. They can see improvements each time. They can see you almost just like becoming more perfect at what you do every time. In their mind, it's like you're doing it perfectly, effortlessly. And each time you're getting better, and they're just growing more agitated. They're also jealous of your creativity, how you're able to think outside the box. Because you're not putting so much pressure on yourself, you're having fun with the process, you're getting creative. But this person puts so much pressure on themselves. They're so perfectionistic to the point where it blocks their creativity. It blocks good ideas from coming in. And they're perhaps jealous of like your good ideas, like your creativity, how you're just having fun with the process. And as you're doing that, you're becoming better. So we have the Ten of Swords, the Three of Swords. I heard that they're jealous of your voice, like when I pull these cards. So the Seven of Cups. They're also jealous of your fashion style. They like your style. Especially like how comfortable you are, like being your authentic self. You can just like wear something and not worry much about like how it's being perceived by others. You're just doing it because you like it. Whereas they feel very insecure to the point where they question what they're going to wear. They change their outfit like 5 times before they pick something because they're so afraid of like other people's opinions. It just feels like this person puts so much pressure on themselves that they don't allow themselves to just breathe. Whereas if they put less pressure on themselves and just were themselves, maybe life would be a lot easier for them. I think you're serving as some kind of lesson to them to breathe, to take it easy, to not put so much pressure on themselves, because it's almost like the amount of pressure they put on themselves to be perfect makes them feel imperfect, makes them feel even less than, even though they have that superiority complex. They're jealous of the fact that you're not emotionally guarded, whereas they are. They're also jealous of your values. It feels like this person does negative or bad things, and they kind of justify it in their own mind. And they're jealous of your values in some way. That's what I keep seeing. How you won't do something just to benefit yourself. You're going to do what's right. There's almost like this reaction of like, oh, you think you're better than me because you're not going to do this. So that is all I'm able to channel for you. I do hope this reading resonated with you. More zodiac signs I see here are fixed signs, which is Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. I also see Libra energy here quite strongly. So that is what I have for you. I also get that this jealousy is going to get stronger over the upcoming months, but I do feel like you're serving as some kind of lesson for them, like I said, And I feel like as they see you progress, this energy is just going to get stronger. So be aware of what's going on around you, but don't dim your light. So yeah, I hope this resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below how this resonated for you. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content on mine, then I do have a membership you can sign up to if you want to. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Goldstone crystal and the Nine of Wands card, so let's get straight into your reading for what people that are jealous of you really think of you. We're going to start out by asking who they are. So, spirit guides of pile number 3, please tap me into the energy of those that are jealous of my pile 3s, and please show me who they are. Who are the people that are jealous of my pile 3s? Who are we picking up on? Who are the people that are jealous of my pile 3s? So I heard the word self-conscious. There are people that almost like don't put themselves out there, don't even try something they want to start because they're too self-conscious. They overthink everything they're doing. They could be very shy. Because I feel like this very shy demeanor from them, where they don't put themselves out there or try new things that they want to try. It's like they're scared of expressing themselves in some way. So we have the Two of Wands reversed, Knight of Cups, and Queen of Wands. I see them being like scared to express themselves. I see them being like very meek, shy, very withdrawn. It's like they're scared to like do the things they've always wanted to do. They feel kind of embarrassed and cringe when they try do those things, when they try get outside of their comfort zone, whether it's speaking to a new person, doing something that they're scared of doing but want to do, whether it's like, you know, setting up a new goal for themselves or trying a new hobby that they're not really skilled at, that they have to learn from scratch. It kind of just feels like they won't put themselves out there because they don't want to be embarrassed. Like, they don't want to learn a new skill and possibly make a fool of themselves, which I understand, I get. Like, I've been there in my life before, but I've kind of had to learn to get outside of my comfort zone and do the things I'm scared of anyways. I get it. I totally get it. I feel like this energy is not malicious in any way. It's mostly coming through as like, I feel self-conscious, and when I see you, I'm reminded of that self-consciousness. So it's almost like these people that are very jealous of you see you as like very confident, almost like the opposite of them, see you as fearless, see you as like this go-getter, but they almost feel out of place themselves. They feel like you're the opposite of them in some way. And there's some kind of self-comparison here, and this feeling of I would want to be close to you, not to keep you close, like that saying, keep your friends close, but your enemies close. It's not coming through like that of like wanting to sabotage you or be malicious in any way. But it's kind of like I admire pile 3, but I feel jealous of them at the same time because they make me feel insecure and self-conscious because everything they're doing is reminding me of what I'm not doing myself. I see them having like big goals, big dreams, but they would never put themselves out there. They would never actually try because they feel inferior. And I see them feeling like, oh, I would want to get close to pile 3 and be their friend. But I don't think they would want to be friends with me. I don't think they would like me. Why would they even want to be friends with me? There's that kind of energy of insecurity that's coming up quite strongly here, but again, it's not malicious. It's not that they want to be your friend and sabotage things for you. They just feel like if they could be friends with you, maybe that energy would rub off on them in some way. I don't think they're doing that consciously, but it's kind of like, you know, like when you have a big sister you look up to and you kind of like want to be more like your big sister. It kind of feels like that energy. Where it's like they're drawn to you because subconsciously they're looking for that energy in their own life, what they lack, and they're seeing it in you. And it's like subconsciously they're drawn to you. They want to be around you because that energy could potentially rub off on them. This is not someone you're close to at the moment. I would be surprised if you even had like conversations with them. I don't think you even really know this person or these people that well. But what I will tell you about them is they feel very challenged in their life right now. They feel like things aren't going their way. They feel like they are going through a lot of difficulties and upheaval right now, like trying to do things that are outside of their comfort zone feels like a big uphill battle and feels like what's even the point? Because I see them like being good at something, for example, and thinking they're not good at it. So I see them, for example, like singing, and their friends like, "Oh, you're so good at singing," and they're like, "No, I'm not. No one will ever listen to me." Like, I see just like a very low self-worth, and I kind of feel sad for them. Like, I just want to give this person a big hug. And I know it sounds kind of strange because they're jealous of you, but I still feel like this person is not malicious, or these people aren't malicious in any way. They just almost like look up to you, but kind of feel a little bit of jealousy inside because of self-comparison. But again, it's not coming through as like they hate you or like want to be you or anything like that. Temperance, Page of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. I think they just have such a low self-worth that they think that people wouldn't like see them in the way people are actually seeing them. Like, I see their friends saying to them, "No, you're so good at this. You should try it. You should try it. Like, I think you're so great at it. I think people would love your voice." But this person just doesn't believe it. It's like a person could compliment them, but they just won't believe it. You know those kind of people where you're like, "Oh, you look so beautiful," and they're like, "Oh, I feel so ugly today, but thank you." They don't believe it themselves. So that's the energy I feel from this person, which makes me kind of sad for them. I feel like, I don't know where this came from, but I feel like it blocks them in some way. It blocks them from truly thriving and living the life they want to live. And I see a potential here because I'm picking up on young people here. But I see this time jump into the future where they could potentially turn out to be those types of people that are very bitter, very regretful that they didn't do the things they wanted to do when they were younger. So there's a potential of them becoming that if they don't get outside of their own way, because I don't think anything's blocking their blessings. I think they're blocking their own self from truly thriving and being fulfilled in the way they would want to if they just got outside of their own way. So yeah, I see a lot of Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, especially Sagittarius. I see some air sign energy too, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'll let you know if I see more zodiac signs later on, but right now Sagittarius is coming up the strongest in the fire sign energy. But I do feel like they could have like a water moon or earth moon or something else to kind of like balance the energy out, because I don't feel like they completely act like a fire sign, if that makes sense. Like, I'm also feeling kind of like Taurus energy. Maybe they have like a Taurus moon, Aries sun, for example. I think this lifetime for them is learning to get outside of their comfort zone. That's their biggest lesson. Getting outside of their own way, learning to almost face their fears, be less judgmental of themselves, see their own value, see their own self-worth, and again, like, get outside of their comfort zone. That's their life lesson in this lifetime. So I feel like that's playing out quite heavily for them at this moment. They are a colorful person with a great imagination, lots of personality, but you wouldn't really know that because they don't really show it to people. They can be really funny, but you wouldn't even know it because they never make jokes. They never think people would laugh at their jokes. They would be really independent if they stepped outside of their comfort zone. That's their potential. They have a lot of great ideas, very creative, like I said. They're someone that's like a go with the flow person. or the people I'm picking up on are go with the flow people, kind of like type B personality types. So next we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Six of Cups reverse, and we have the Emperor reverse. So I see that they could kind of be a little bit of like a loner, the people I'm picking up on, or very introverted, very shy. They are very sentimental, nostalgic about like their past memories and about their past in general. Kind of clingy personalities, very attached to the past, to people. And once they get attached, it's hard for them to detach, even if a person hurts them. I also feel like there's people around them that kind of just walk all over them, control them in a way, like boss them around because they're not standing up for themselves in any way. I keep feeling the energy of young people. Someone that's maybe younger than you or young in some way, if not younger than you. I feel the energy of someone that's destined for greatness but won't get out of their own way. It's like they're afraid to take up space. They're afraid to be too loud, to be too much, to even show their own sense of humor or say what's like on their mind. It's like they're afraid people would disagree with them, or not understand their perspective. But they really have a lot of value to add in conversation, but they never add it. It's like they think people wouldn't want to hear it anyways. So it's like they shoot themselves down before anyone could even like tell them otherwise. And like I said, I feel like you won't really know who this is even after I explain them, because I feel like what they could be, what they are, and how they portray themselves to the world are totally different. Not in the sense of pretending to be someone they're not, but in the sense of they're funny, like I said, but they don't show their funniness. They don't tell jokes, but deep down they're funny. Maybe only their best friend would know. Do you get what I mean? I feel like they hide themselves from the world. They hide their personality traits from the world out of like fear of judgment, or fear of people not liking them. So nobody knows the true them, not because they're hiding themselves out of like malicious intent, but more because they're hiding themselves from embarrassment. So Six of Swords, Muse of Materials. I feel like this is like an awkward person that feels awkward and cringe with whatever they do. The Wheel of Fortune, even though they're not, they feel awkward and cringe themselves. So what they really think of you, they think that you're changing for the better, that you're outgrowing certain dynamics in your life right now or certain friendships in your life right now. It almost just feels like they see you thriving in some way. They see you doing better for yourself in some way, and things are changing for the better for you. That's what they're thinking right now. They're thinking that you're also starting to grow in your own personality. And as a result of that, you're possibly outgrowing people or situations in your life. They do look up to you and they do kind of look for your validation. It almost just feels like this person looks up to you in a way a fan would to a celebrity. Like looking up to you in the sense of wanting to be more like you, wanting to almost make decisions that you would. Not to be you, not to destiny swap with you or become you, but to kind of like channel your energy so that they can be that way themselves too. It's like, imagine we have like someone going for an audition of some kind and they're so nervous and they almost like think, what would pile 3 do? And then they almost like channel your energy, and kind of like not pretend they're you for that day, but kind of just think, oh, what would pile 3 do in this moment? And then they try to do what you would do. And I feel like that kind of like pushes them to do the things they're afraid to do. Even though they're not fully doing it yet, it's like they're slowly starting to take steps towards that, and I think that's progress for them. So I'd say this person is more of a secret admirer that feels insecure and inferior around you than a hater, even though there is a little bit of jealousy. They also think that you're well accomplished in some way with the King of Pentacles here, especially to do with your career or finances. So we have the Seven of Cups reverse. They think that you're also stable. They look up to you. They think that you're secure within yourself. They think that you're confident. Knight of Wands. They think that people celebrate you for being you, and they wish they could have that themselves. The Queen of Swords. They also think that you are kind of iconic in a way where you just say the things that are on your mind. You don't hold back. And you just like call things out as they are. You can also be very funny, outspoken. That's what they think of you. And yeah, like you just speak, you don't give a F. You just say what's on your mind, and they like that about you. They like that you're kind of like unfiltered in the way you speak. Awakening reverse and Six of Cups reverse. They think that you remind them of someone from their past that they miss. This could be like an older sibling of theirs. Someone they looked up to as well. You kind of remind them of that person, which is why they look up to you as well. Eight of Wands reverse and the Knight of Cups. So I'm hearing that they think you're showing up in like this queen or king energy. Like you're showing up in the best possible way. They also think that you don't even know who they are, that you don't even think of them, that they're kind of like irrelevant to you, that you don't even realize how much they admire you. That's what they think. They also think that they kind of see that person they miss in you a little bit. I don't know if that person passed on or what, or if they don't see that person anymore, but that's what I'm getting. They also like the fact that you just like don't seem afraid to stand up for yourself either. Like you can set boundaries with people. You can kind of like call people out. They like that about you. And when someone is rude to you, you kind of like just don't give a F about it. You don't seem bothered by it. Maybe you'll say something witty back, but you just don't seem bothered by it. That's what they also admire here. They think that you are kind of like making progress in your life, progress they would like to see in their own life that they're not seeing because they haven't taken steps towards their true dreams or what they want to do yet. So they kind of see you as like a representation of what they could be if they put themselves out there. They know they wouldn't be exactly like you, of course, but I just feel like this person appreciates your presence because you remind them that there's nothing to fear when they are fearing things. This energy is actually kind of sweet. I didn't expect this, because usually when I do these jealousy readings, they come through as like very petty, and I don't like that energy sometimes, but I didn't expect this. Like, it's actually kind of cute how they look up to you. So what do they see in pile number 3 that they're jealous of? What do they see in pile number 3 that they're jealous of? So we have the 8 of Cups. We have the Fool reverse. We have the 7 of Cups reverse. So they think that you don't seem very anxious. Like, you don't like seem like you're overthinking when you take a risk or a leap of faith. Whereas they're like so anxious to make that first move, to take a risk, to take a leap of faith, to do something outside of their comfort zone. Whereas you don't seem that way. They think that you're kind of like this adventurous person, this person that just does the things you want to do without overthinking too much. They secretly wish they were like that. They see you as somebody that knows your own worth, where if something isn't making you happy or isn't fulfilling you, you walk away from it. You don't like say, oh, what if I don't find anything better, and then just settle for something you know isn't like making you happy or isn't fulfilling you. Or let's say it's a person not treating you right. Like, you know, there's plenty of other fish in the sea. You don't have to settle for this one person. You know what I mean? That's what they see in you, that they secretly admire but also envy at the same time. It's like, I wish I could be more like that. They're thinking in their mind that they settle for people they know they shouldn't settle for just because they feel like there's no one else that would want to be around them. Again, they have a very low self-worth and self-esteem where they think they're not likable. They think that people don't want to be around them, when that could be the opposite case. But yeah, that's what I see. They also think that you are kind of badass in a way. They wish they were more like that themselves. Page of Cups. There's something beautiful about your aura, your energy, and also your smile, your laughter. You kind of like do the things you want to do like nobody's watching. But in fact, this person is watching and admiring. Like, for example, I'm seeing somebody dance like nobody's watching. So it kind of just feels like you just do the things you want to do without overthinking too much, like I said before. You seem successful. You seem emotionally fulfilled in some way because you're actually like doing something with your life. They feel like they're not really doing anything with their life. Like, they're stuck in the same place. They haven't seen much progress because they haven't even taken the first step. They just think you have this wonderful, admirable personality. And they think that there's probably so many other people that secretly admire you, that want to be around you, but they think you wouldn't like care about them. They almost feel like they would annoy you if they had to try to speak to you. 5 of Cups, 7 of Swords reverse. They feel like you would be polite but not like want to hang out around them. Queen of Pentacles reverse and the 8 of Wands reverse. So it seems like they're secretly jealous of the fact that you're an action-orientated type of person where you just go after the things you want without much thinking. You don't seem that perfectionistic. It's like when you do a task, you don't pressure yourself or expect yourself to make it perfect in a way where it's perfect, but you just do it anyways to the best of your abilities. And you don't seem to like overcompensate too much, whereas this person feels like they do. You also don't seem like you're in a hurry to get somewhere now. You know that like even slow progress is progress, and you're not like in a rush to get to like a specific goal, like within a specific time frame. You're happy whenever it happens. It happens when it happens. So that's what they're also jealous of, because they feel like they have a certain time frame for their life, or like they're behind in life. But they look at you and see you as like further ahead than them. It's like they want to be like you, but they almost feel like, how do I even become like that? It's so far out of reach that it feels impossible. I feel like this person just, again, like thinks you wouldn't want to be around them. Thinks that you would, again, like find them annoying if they had to try to talk to you. I'm not really getting anything else from this person, so sorry if this sounded like a little bit repetitive. I tried to get new information, but the same information kept coming through, so I think that's where I'm going to leave your reading. Let me see if I can channel any more zodiac signs and initials. I'm seeing Gemini energy in my mind's eye. I'm seeing somebody that loves Disney movies. I'm seeing somebody that drinks wine a lot. This person or people, group of people, watch you a lot if it's a group of people. They're also just very simplistic type of people. Not over the top in any way. I'm seeing the initial I, R. I'm hearing watch your mouth, but I feel like that's your energy, like you standing up for yourself. Maybe they heard you stand up for yourself and they admire that. I'm seeing somebody that likes to eat healthy, has more of a natural look physically. Like maybe they don't wear a lot of makeup. I'm seeing somebody that loves animals. I'm also getting the initial S, F, and N. I'm also seeing the word, well, the name Jennifer in my mind's eye. Like, I'm literally seeing the name in my mind's eye. I feel like this person sees your strength, but doesn't realize they have that same potential within them. They just have to get outside of their own way. I'm not really getting any more zodiac signs. So I do hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and want to see more exclusive content of mine, you can join my membership if you want to. So yeah, comment below how this resonated for you. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.